I've been in a little bit of a creative block, so I wanted to update the YouTube archive about what I've been doing, what I've been thinking, and how I've been feeling about it, because I'm over this shit. Just kidding. I am very sensitive. I know exactly what it feels like when I am in the proper energy to have strong creative output. Like, I know what it feels like in my body, in my mind, in my heart, in my outcomes when I'm in the right headspace and zone to make good shit. And because I can very clearly sense that, I can also very clearly sense that when it's not there. And when it's not there, then I start to really be hyper aware of the fact that it's not there, and that's not productive in getting it to come back. So then I'm just like constantly thinking about the fact that it's not there, and then I'm thinking about the fact that me thinking about it is making me slow down. Anyways, I've been in that cycle. And I think a lot of creative people, writers, artists, like, experience creative block in some way, and it's always about staying in the work to be inspired by the work. And I've been trying to stay in the work, but ultimately when it's like an expression practice, I struggle. And then I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to do this. So that's where that's been. Second, I picked up a new project, and I don't know if I really talked about it this much on YouTube, but I was very careful. Like, I graduated in June, and I knew that I intentionally wanted to use this first year post-grad to kind of dive in on myself and my creative projects and my little passion project, my small business, and figure out, like, okay, how do I build upon the things that I have, like, these strong visions and drives for. I am not married, I don't have kids, I'm only responsible for myself, and now more than ever is like the time for me to kind of like follow my dream and like really just make risky decisions on the career front and be really experimental. And something that I've been really protective of in that process is my time, because my time is the only way for me to kind of like get in the zone and stay focused on the things that really matter to me and like the magic of my work. But at the same time, I was experiencing so much confusion and stress, not even stress, but just like uncertainty around like, what does that look like in terms of consistency with my income? Because all of my projects are still kind of in the foundational building phases. There's no consistent MRR across the board, and I definitely don't pay myself yet. So I had set aside kind of like money in order to do this, but I didn't know, I just don't like the feeling of spending money and not making money. And I was kind of in the back of my mind being like, okay, I'm open-minded to work on a project I love, to work in a community with a team that I love, or on something that I was really excited about. I always knew I didn't want to take on a full-time role, but yeah, something like that kind of came up. It's the perfect mix of the skills I need to learn, the value I can provide, the type of people I want to be working with. It still allows me to be flexible with my schedule and my other projects and still maintain focus on the things that kind of really matter to me. But I've been adjusting to like a new structure of like, these are all of the things I need to get done across projects. Like, now I have a project management system because my hands are in so many different things at once, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the outcomes and things that I'm looking for within each one. So that's been something I've been navigating. I have been completely digital nomad the last almost a full year. I moved out of my apartment in LA in November, and ever since then I've been hopping around between LA, New York, Florida. Randomly I was PNW, back and forth. I went to Seattle, I was in Boise, Idaho for a bit, back to LA, back to New York, back to Florida, back to LA. It's been a little bit of everywhere, and I haven't been traveling in a way that's like I'm traveling, like I'm in a new lifestyle or a new culture. I've just been on the go constantly and traveling for work, for personal reasons, and just for the mere fact of I don't have a home base. And I was trying to kind of intentionally be like, where do I want to go next? And that didn't really happen. What ended up happening is I sort of, in a scattered way, would go from place to place based on where I was being pulled. Whether it was my personal life or my work life, like an opportunity would come up, and then I was like, okay, I have to go there. And because I have the flexibility to do that, I was then so, like, even right now I'm in a hotel in New York because I just needed a place to crash and like film a YouTube video. And anyways, I'm so grateful to be able to travel, and that I'm working, and that my work lifestyle routine like allows me to travel. I've always dreamed of doing that. But I do need to kind of build a home base and just have a space that's mine, that I can like relax and reset and feel like normal again, because a lot of it right now is just me being scattered and constantly living out of like these two little bags that are about to break. So that's been a thing. Right now it's looking like I'm gonna move back to LA in January, and then I'm gonna invest again in a gym membership and like getting a studio space and having my own studio space where I can just work, make art, have my setup in one place, have all my materials in one place, because right now it's too scattered. And I think when I left LA last November, I was a little bit like, I have spent the last 5 years in LA. I love LA. I have my community here. I have my spots. I love the city. I'm inspired by the city. But I was excited for doing something new. Like I wanted to take on a new challenge, a new place. And across different things, it's looking like I'm gonna be back in LA. And LA is a perfect place for all the projects that I'm building. And all of my teams are kind of on PST. But I had a little bit of uncertainty, or not uncertainty, like hesitation with going back to LA because it felt like a failure. It felt like I had already conquered LA and going back to LA was just kind of like doing the easy thing. But really, I'm in a phase of high focus on my work, high focus on my craft and my art, and I don't need the distraction of constantly being on the go. And I don't need the distraction of moving to a completely new city, having to figure out the lifestyle there, having to figure out all the logistics, all of the moving, all of the friends making things. Like I am in a phase where I just want to lock in and work on my work and focus and just like make the art and things come to life. So in that way, being in LA makes sense. And it makes sense for me to just like have my little studio space and settle down. But yeah, I'm rambling now, but it was just something about like I couldn't decide for the longest time, and now I'm finally decided, and that feels good. Like now the decision is just done, and I can like clarify my mental energy towards other things. That's one of the things about being a digital nomad. Like your automated processes on a day-to-day, whether it's like where you're eating, where you're working out, where you're staying, are you gonna have a quiet space to take a meeting, are you gonna have Wi-Fi, like all of these logistic things. And it sounds stupid, and I'm again so grateful to travel, but I felt like I was constantly coordinating something, and that had to end. I'm rambling. In terms of YouTube and the internet, I've been feeling very like I go through phases where I can talk all day and I have so many ideas and I'm just in constant expression mode, and then I go through phases where I feel very reserved and like I want to just be to myself and like figure things out, and I can like really sense when I feel like the spark isn't there, or like the ideas aren't good enough. I'm getting an email, do not distract me, and that energy definitely slows me down when I like feel like I'm being too meticulous about it. And ultimately for me, the internet is my digital studio space. I'm just experimenting and expressing and meeting people and talking. And when I like don't put my pressure on it to like have any specific outcomes, it stays fun for me. But also I want to be intentional about it in the sense that I know that for me it is a tool, and for me it is like an opportunity layer. Yeah. So I'm just trying to be consistent there without trying to make it like too meticulous and painful, because I genuinely do love it. Like I love talking to camera, I love documenting things. I am an archiver, I'm a journaler. Like I love having things archived, which is why I'm making this video. This is like literally me talking to myself. I've been in New York the last week and a half, and something about being here really sparked the clarity again that like at my core, I want to make art. I want to be painting again. I want to be sketching more. I want to be writing more in a way where I'm like actually having published pieces and personal essays and just like aggregating my work in a way that it has value, instead of just constantly being too quick about, because I'm someone that I work very quickly. Like I make fast, loose paintings. I sketch in a way that's fast and loose. I write constantly, but I need to kind of build my craft for long form process and commitment to projects for longer term periods. And because I feel like I have, you know, like the visionary integrator thing, like you have visionaries and integrators, and like especially in business, those two work very well together, because the visionary is kind of like looking at the bigger picture, going where we're going, and the integrators of making the day-to-day tasks happen and like the outcomes happen to operate a bit like a fully functional business. My creative practice is kind of like that, in the sense that like I feel so solid in my visionary skills, but my integrator skills of like being there, consistent with quality, editing, making the work, being in the work, and then editing the work in terms of like which of the hundreds of things that I've made are actually good. That skill needs refinement, and I have been trying to build a little bit more structure in my life so that I can actually do those things. And I need to be more specific when I make these videos, because otherwise it's useless. Oh, I was talking about New York, and I was talking about the fact that it gave me so much clarity of like, I want a studio, I want to be painting, I want to be making art and putting my art out there, and I want to be all of the things that I do, whether it's painting, sketching, writing, or even my small business models, I want them to be useful to people and useful to myself. And I want to express in a way that provides value. And you know how Rick Rubin's always like, you can't think with the audience in mind. I have half of me is like that, where it's like, it's just about me, I just need to get it out. But the other half is like, if I can just do that and like allow it to be about me, but then structure it in a way that's like the expression has outcomes for other people, that's where I feel like there's quality and intent in what it is that I do. And I need to figure that out. And I need to just kind of settle down, stop being so chaotic and traveling all the time and moving around from place to place. Like literally almost this entire year, every month I've traveled multiple times. That's too much. In order to do that, I need to lock down and focus on the longer term projects and like start aggregating the through lines and patterns in my work. I know I keep pausing, I'm sorry. On the personal front, I'm in a new relationship and I am really happy about it and I'm really excited about it. And I think I had kind of an interesting and dynamic past with this person, and in some ways I had to kind of work through letting myself feel joy and like let it be a big thing, because having a relationship and starting a family and being in love and being a wife and being a mom and building a household and like building a vision with a partner has always been one of my main dreams. And as I do all the other things I do, like I've always wanted to prioritize that still. Like I always wanted to build my life's work, career thing and really care about it, while also simultaneously like doing it through family and through love and like with a partner. And yeah, anyways, so that's exciting for me because I kind of felt like that was a piece of my life that I was over complicating and feeling stuck with for so long. So even just that there's things moving in a direction right now feels really exciting. And I need to learn to be more specific in these videos, but I'm kind of just rambling and I'm like really on the clock right now because I'm supposed to check out of this room, but I wanted to make a video and just document all these things right now because I am having so much fun with my career landscape right now. Like I don't have the external validation of things clicking and like things being consistent or working or like people really caring about what I do, but internally I'm literally living my dream. Like I feel like I have the work type, work style, flexibility, access, resources, network. Like this is what I wanted, and I need to like sit down and like allow myself to enjoy the fact that I have kind of worked really hard to be where I am, and I aimed to be where I am. And even though I don't have all the moving pieces and I like have such a big dream and like I'm so many things I'm excited about, I always am reminding myself like, girl, be grateful and slow the fuck down, because like this is what you wanted and like you are living it and it is awesome. And all the highs and lows that come with kind of being a multidisciplinary artist, I guess, creative person, entrepreneur, whatever, is that there is uncertainty because you're doing something different, and because you're doing something different, it doesn't exist yet. So there is no defined path for you. There's no next step. All of it is like you focusing on your own next step. Like there's no defined timeline, and with no defined timeline becomes like a lot of uncertainty. And sometimes with uncertainty, I'm like, oh, am I doing the right thing? And I start questioning things and doubting myself. And that's the part of the process for everything. And every time that I like kind of come out of an era of doubting myself, it builds the muscle of being like, no girl, you got it, you're gonna figure it out, trust in the process, be delusional, believe in yourself, believe in your community, just try to do good work and be of service, and yeah, keep making shit. Anyways, I'm tunnel focused, I'm like vision, like I'm locked in right now in terms of like me connecting dots and just like trying to not pay attention to who's watching me, not pay attention to everything else that's happening around me. There's so much noise in today's day and age. You have to just be very clear about signal and noise and like following your signal and not getting too caught up in the way that everything around you is evolving, because things are evolving from every which way direction all the time, and only you know what's right for you. You know what's right for your work, you know what's right for your people. So anyways, I'm done rambling. Thank you for listening to whoever watched this, and it was good for me to kind of get this out because I feel like I've been avoiding YouTube a bit because I felt stuck in things of like, I don't know what to say, and I know that a lot of things are flopping, and I'm gonna let it flop and just continue saying things because that's what I need to do, and that's like part of my personal process, even if it's messy and even if it's scrappy and not good. And I will get better at storytelling, and I will get better at communicating, and I will get better at getting to the fucking point. Love you.